So let me get this straight. Donald Trump was on camera telling Americans that there is no money for daycare, but there's money for this? Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Before we get into it, I want to give a huge shout out to my old faithfuls. Thank you so much for all of the support that you've provided to me over the years. I really appreciate it. I also want to give a huge shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for the additional support that you provide to my channel every month. I really appreciate it. I also want to welcome the newbies to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking that subscribe button. And if you've come across this video and are not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I'd be happy to have you. Listen, I don't know what type of foolishness the YouTube algorithm is on, but they are suppressing the views from my channel and other independent news media channels. They're suppressing our views and they are suppressing them heavily. It's huge. It's noticeable. So please take a moment, click that like button, share the video. Make sure you have hit that bell so every time I upload a video, you get notified. And hype up the video as well. I don't know what is going on with YouTube. They giving us some rigmarole run around, but I've noticed how my views have dropped as well as other content creators. So help your girl out. Yes, a few weeks ago, Donald Trump was caught on camera saying that the tax dollars from the American taxpayers, they can't use that money for daycare. It's meant for wars. They don't have money for daycare. They don't have money for health care. They don't have money for education. They don't have money to feed people. They're cutting funds from SNAP programs. They don't have money to house people. They're cutting funding from housing programs. They don't have money to protect people when it comes to this environment protections. Yeah, they're cutting money from that. They don't have money to improve the infrastructure across the United States, our roads, our bridges. They don't have money for that. They don't have money to help people after a storm. Yeah, help people to rebuild after a hurricane or a tornado. They don't have money for any of that. But they've got $1.7 billion to create an anti-weaponization fund, which will go to compensate Donald Trump's allies. That's right. Who are the allies? Well, CBS News has an article that goes into who some of Donald Trump's allies are. Before we get into who the allies are, how this is supposed to work, they've already transferred the funds. And this has been created. And there will be a panel, a commission with 5 people on the commission. And requests will go to this commission and they will decide if the request will be granted or not. Is there any oversight on this commission? No. And according to CBS News, requests for compensation are already being sent to the commission. This is in the article. The first known request for compensation came on Tuesday from former Trump advisor and administration official Michael Caputo, who penned a letter obtained by CBS requesting $2.7 million in restitution and reimbursement. Caputo argued he was targeted by the FBI's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election, writing that he suffered greatly during that dark era of political weaponization. He said he was later investigated in connection with a film alleging malfeasance by former President Joe Biden. But wait, there's more. Who else can receive compensation from this fund? January 6 rioters, including those convicted of the most violent behavior during the attack, but later pardoned by Donald Trump. They could likely apply for money, as could high-profile former Trump administration and campaign officials who were litigating against the Justice Department before coming to their own settlement agreements. January Sixers who beat and killed cops. January Sixers who destroyed property all throughout the Capitol. People like Jenna Ellis, Sidney Powell, Rudy Giuliani. They could receive compensation from running around talking about election interference. They could receive compensation. But there's more. Jenny Cudd, who pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor trespass charge related to the Capitol riot, told CBS News that all January Sixers will apply for restitution from the Justice Department's fund. Earlier this year, the Justice Department also agreed to settle a lawsuit filed by Mark Huck, a prominent anti-abortion rights opponent who was acquitted at trial in early 2023 on FACE Act charges. His lawyer told CBS News that the Justice Department had agreed to pay him $1.1 million to settle that suit. The Justice Department also recently settled two claims by former Trump national security official and right-wing activist Michael Flynn, with one case settling for at least $1.25 million. A source familiar with the settlement negotiations told CBS News at the time. Former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows is also asking the Justice Department to reimburse him for legal fees he incurred in multiple federal and state investigations in the wake of the 2020 presidential election. Vice President J.D. Vance suggested in a news conference on Tuesday that former Colorado County Elections official Tina Peters could be one candidate for compensation. Peters was sentenced to prison time for allowing unauthorized access to voting machines following the 2020 election, but her sentence was commuted last week by Colorado Democratic Governor Jared Polis after months of pressure from Donald Trump. Polis argued Peters' sentence was excessive. Remember, I told you guys when I was talking about how Donald Trump was going hard for Tina Peters to be pardoned. Y'all were down in my comment section saying that Donald Trump can't pardon Tina Peters because she went to jail on state charges. I said, you clearly don't understand how Donald Trump works. And here we are. Tina Peters is now a free woman, and she's going to request compensation from our tax dollars. Donald Trump and his merry band of criminals, they all will be paid. I think someone had calculated it out. The January Sixers could all receive at a minimum $1 million. Yeah. Now, there's a part of me that is thinking that January Sixers might get screwed. To me, my instinct is telling me that this is yet another fund that was set up by Donald Trump and his corrupt administration. And these dollars will go into Donald Trump's pocket. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure lawsuits are being written as we speak. This is what happens because people decided to vote third party. Vote for Jill Stein. Vote for Cornel West. Vote for Donald Trump or chose to not vote at all. This is what happens. Now, my hard-earned tax dollars are going to pay hateful, racist, and white supremacists. Yeah.